Hey everybody, welcome in, and we have the first footage of the actual raid. Now we've seen a few different parts of it, and what I would like to say, let's have a look through this, and I'll stop things, and we'll go through it as we go, and this is how it all starts off. So we'll start this, I'll stop it, and I'll talk about a few things, and let's jump into this because this is quite exciting. So first off, the team entering into the raid. Ariel is there. There's no prince, there's no tridents, so it seems like they won't be required. So there were some people worried about that. I never thought they'll be required since they are quite limited, although they are beneficial, and that's kind of what Lou let us know in the Q&A. They said, well, there will be characters that do better in raids that we want to encourage people to go for. So there it is. Maybe Ariel might be required, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. Maybe she might just get extra bonuses. Who knows? Now, a few things to note. There are 2 Oceanics here. Maybe there might be a minimum amount of Oceanics you need to have on your team. Maybe they won't. Or maybe they're just trying to show some of their characters. Who knows? And then the rest of them are all downtown heroes. Now, Wasabi, okay. Elastigirl, and then Bo Peep. Interesting choice. But I think it's more just to throw some characters in there. So then we have Ursula coming out here. She looks awesome. And Ursula. She does look good, and she's going to be a great looking character. Now we can see a few different things as we come on into here. So straight away, she is silencing Ariel. Now, this does look like it's a wee bit into the fight. It's not the start of the fight, so we got the start scene, but this isn't the start of the fight. We can guess it by a couple of reasons. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe you might start the battle like this, but we have different durations on the bad effects straight away. There is Intimidate on all the characters. Now, Wasabi has 2 turns of Intimidate, so does Elastigirl, whereas Moana and Bo Peep only have 1 turn. So, if all characters start with Intimidate, like 2 stacks of Intimidate, then it looks like at least a couple of these characters have had turns, and it looks like also Bo Peep has given Moana taunt and the defense up with her little police lady. So those are some little telltales that this is not exactly how it starts off. And also, I could be wrong, but could be guessing that Wasabi is down on health, Ariel is down on health, and this could just be jumping into one of the turns within the raid. So that's one of the things about this. So here's grasping tendrils. The animation just looks amazing. So let's just have a little look at this, and I'll pause it again when we get through. But there's Ursula, and then she jumps in, and rah! So she does massive damage to Moana just there, even though she has defense up and all these other things. Now, with that, the spells automatically jump to being charged. So we don't see how much charge they have previously, but when she is hit and taking so much damage, it does seem like they're charging. But yet again, it looks like there's already some damage taken, so could be a wise decision to know which spells you're going to run, and I would say probably Tala would be a massive pick, depending on how many teams you can run through, and if you're going to use each spell once, kind of like Conquest, who knows? But we shall see. And that is pretty much the end of it. So that is what we have seen and what we can know. Now, with this, we do see Ursula's abilities at the top up there, and after she uses them, you do see that they go grey, so you can see when she is going to use them again. So when she is using the grasping tendrils, boom, the ability's gone grey, and now that one's over. So very, very, very interesting. It's cool that you can actually see what abilities she has left over. Now, we can also see a few other things. So if we jump back onto here, at the very top of the screen is 3 out of 4. So you will be doing stages to get up to there. So you will be having to have characters that will have to be able to survive, or you'll have to position or plan your way through however these modes and matches work. And that could also be why here we see her in her lair, but we've also seen snippets of her up on the ship. That might be the last stage of the raid. How you go to stage 1, 2, 3, and then stage 4, boom. Stage 4 is her attacking the ship. And we don't know that. We've been teased those other images, and it's kind of what I'm thinking about. Maybe, so there's been a little bit of discussion happening. Maybe it might be those bars at the top. It might show you which stage you're at. You can see that if we zoom right on and up here, the orange bar at the very top, right up there by her picture, is down just a slight bit. So maybe that's her showing her health at the different stages, or maybe this is the first out of 4 and you got to go through 4 phases in here. It looks like there's different health bars with a big red health bar, a little, maybe that yellow one might be MP and gaining, or it could be part of her health as well, different stages to her health, or maybe it all is all those 3 of those bars are stages of health. It is interesting. They're definitely all displayed differently though, so it looks like the lines are different references to different things. Maybe HP, maybe MP gaining, maybe something else happening within the raid. But it does look very interesting, and it looks like potentially she has. So it shows that she's got a passive, which is her zappy hands, the tendrils, which is the ability that we've seen used, and then also the contract, which also looks like she might have a passive contract as well, a leadership passive for contract. So maybe that might be what is giving out the silence on Ariel. Maybe that is what is giving out the intimidate, the passive. So a lot of things to find out, a lot of things that are interesting. And can I just say, if anybody ever uses this, don't use taunt on Moana, please. Alright, there's one more thing that we do need to talk about, is that we do get to see her level. Down the bottom there, it shows us she is level 250. Now, that is a very interesting find, is that that's either gauging her power level, that maybe that's the hardest power level. So as a level 70, you'll be facing her at level 250. That's going to be why she's got X amount of health that she has, or scaled up from there. Or maybe that's just how they want to show her as a power level. Maybe this isn't the strongest type, and maybe they'll be level 500. Yet to see, but it does show you how strong she is going to be relatively. So that is kind of cool. With that, those creepy hands look pretty cool. Swipe and goodbye Moana. But I can't wait to see how this is all going to come about. If we're going to be facing different stages of Ursula, if there's going to be other characters with those different setup and stages, the 3 out of 4, the first, the second, the third, the fourth. If we're going to be other minions with her, maybe her eels, maybe something else, or if it's going to be just her every single time. But I can't wait to see, I can't wait to get into this until we can fully look over her abilities when she pops up in game, and then that'll also be able to help us with this. Now, for the last things I do want to mention, with her showing that she's giving intimidate, that is also going to mean that it's probably not going to be wise to just go in and invest everything into characters that give speed. Bubbles may not be as useful in this raid. You won't be able to use him the way you always use him. Although you can use him for his cleanse, that could be relevant, but you're not going to be able to use him just to gain turn meter. You may not be able to use Hero just to be giving turns. You may not be able to use Hero just giving turns, because, boom, Intimidate, they're not going to gain anything. So that means you may only be able to use him for half of his kit, which is the shields and evades only. So that kind of does balance out a whole lot of characters if making some of these top characters not so usable for either just starting everything with Intimidate. Maybe that's just her character, maybe that's the raid format. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to go with the planning of who you're going to be wanting to go and put everything into for the raid. And that's kind of why I'm been holding off who I level up into. I want to see what we're getting. We're getting these hints. So maybe Hero might not be the best pick, although you can still use him for giving speed. We can see that we're using Wasabi, so maybe he can still give speed to some fast characters to do a whole lot of damage, even though he cannot give the turn, so speed as in the leadership speed. So it's all going to depend on how we're going to want to do this. Maybe it's going to be that important to have that speed and get multiple hits in, give him lots of damage. Maybe it's going to be more important to use Ariel's lead, get more HP for everybody, or we'll have to wait and see. And this is going to be all the strategy that comes into the raid. So I can't wait to get into that, and I can't wait to dig into Ursula's kit, and I still need to dig into everybody else's kit. So stay tuned, more to come, and let's see what these raids have in store for us. I can't wait. Now, I was wrong. I will say I was wrong, thinking that they were going to come by the end of the month. They haven't. Maybe they've pushed it. It looks like we're going to be getting some different towers. Again, they're not going to be in here by the end of the month, so maybe it's going to be start of next month. They are releasing more about it, so we'll just have to wait and see. We still have this image here, which I would be guessing will be the last stage of the raid. This is what I was meaning before when I was mentioning it. So I would say this will probably be the last stage of the raid. She pops up in there like she does in the other images that they've given us for the raids. And I can't wait to see. So let me know your guesses down below, and we'll see you all very soon.